Hello my friends, it's Becky here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. Today I am doing the end of the year book tag, which I don't think I done last year or ever before, and I thought it might be quite interesting to do this because in this tag there are questions which allows you to review your reading year so far and also speak about your plans for the rest of the year. And right now it's the mid-October, so I feel like it's the perfect time to do this tag. And this tag was originally created by Ariel Bisset, and I wasn't tagged to do this, but I found it on lovely Gemma's from Gem of Books channel, so I decided to do it. And without further ado, I will just jump to the questions, but first, please can we appreciate this tiny little pumpkin? I mean, look how cute it is. Yes, these are the things that brings me joy. Anyway, right, so the question number one, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Only one. And the reason I will explain in a minute, but usually I do not have books left unread. If this happens, that means that I DNF the book on purpose. Usually I always finish the books I'm reading, and if I don't, that's really my intention. But there is one book which I did not finish yet, and I started to read in September, and shamefully I'm admitting that it's this one, Daphne du Maurier short stories book, because I started to read this actually at the very end of August. It was for my September TBR, and I started to read this because I wanted to get ahead of schedule, but then I had two buddy reads coming in September, at the very beginning of September, and then because September got so busy and I also went home for several days, I read only two books in September, and this one was not finished. So this is probably the only book which I started to read this year, and I really want to finish it because I shamefully again must confess that I started to read it and I did not finish even the first short story, which is Birds. And many of you have been asking me already in the comments if I finished this book. I did not, but I will promise by the end of this year this will be done. Right, question number two, do you have an autumnal book to transition in the end of the year? Not concretely. I am not a seasonal reader, so I don't really have books like this, but for me, since last year when I joined the Booktube. Was it last year? Yes, in March, but then Booktober happened and I got familiar with the Booktober read-along, and then the Victorian literature. For me that became sort of like a time of transitioning to the autumn, and right now I'm cracking with the Booktober because I posted the video last week which was my reading vlog about reading Picture of Dorian Gray and Frankenstein. So for me Booktober itself is a good transition. However, I started to read one more book which I decided to take a break from Victorian literature for a while, and it's Circe. I have absolutely no clue how you pronounce it, if it's Circe, or I also heard somewhere Kirche, but I don't know if that might be another character or if it's the way how you pronounce the name, so I apologize. But I got this book. I also have the main cover, like the paper cover, but it's in my room, and I got this book because it was a result of one of the quizzes I was doing, and it says that according to my Capricorn sign, I should read this book. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try. So I'm currently approximately here, so I'm very curious to see how this is gonna happen. I'm not gonna tell you my initial thoughts yet, but they are quite interesting. So that would be question number two. Okie doke. Is there a new release you are still waiting for? As you know me, I do not follow new releases very much, but there is one book which I already got, and it was new release right now in October, and this is part of my also teeny tiny haul which I'm planning to do because I bought two books recently, and one of them is this one, and it's another part of the book series of a collection of the poetry books by Courtney Peppernell, and there is no way that you haven't heard me speaking about these books yet on my channel, because that's sort of like equivalent of Three Musketeers. Courtney Peppernell, absolutely wonderful, talented person who is writing the most beautiful poems, and this is the newest book that came out, and I decided to buy it immediately. I even pre-ordered it, and now it arrived, and I'm so happy because the covers are the cutest ever, and also the illustrations. Let me find some very quickly. Even the inside, I showed them to you before from the previous books, but I mean, isn't it cute? I love this book so much. So this is probably the only new release I was waiting for, because other than that I do not follow new releases. Okie doke. What are the books? Yeah, that's another one. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I think that For now, I know only about one book, which is another part of my tiny haul, and I got this book called The Island of the Dreams. Can you see it? Or maybe I should adjust the brightness a little bit. It looks like this. And this is a book which I wanted to get for a very long time because it's by author called Dan Boothby. I'm sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. And this is a book in which it's an autobiographical book, or like travel writing maybe you can call it. And in this book the author is basically describing his journey, how he was still searching for home because he never really felt almost home anywhere, and then he found his home at Scottish Islands up in the north. And he describes his whole experience, how he started his life there, how he met people and what happened there during this journey, and also all the animals and otters. And I wanted to read this book so much. And I ordered it from one second-hand bookstore, and it arrived literally yesterday, and I was so happy. So this is one book I definitely do want to read, and I am basically saving this for non-fiction November, which is coming very soon, and I'm very excited about it. And then other than that, I do not have concrete book in mind right now, but I think I would really like to crack on with my physical books, which I have here in Scotland, because as you know, I gathered a couple books since I moved in here, and I think I still have 3 or 4 which I haven't read yet. So I would like to finish those. And I think there's gonna be last question. Oh no, there is one more. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I hope so, but I don't really know which one would it be, because this year I read some really amazing books, so we'll see. And then last question, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Not entirely, however, one of my biggest plans for next year is again to do as many buddy reads as possible, because I love it. I love to read with fellow booktubers and also even subscribers. So I did a video last year which was called Looking for Buddy Reads, and I'm definitely planning to do this kind of video towards the end of the year. So for that I will select several books which I would love to read during the next year, and then once I post the video, you are very much welcome if you would like to buddy read with me, which I hope you would. Then just let me know in the comments, and we will find some date during the year or whenever during the months which will come in the next year, 2023, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's one of my plans I really want to do. So I will see you there, so stay tuned for that. And also I'm very much happy to read with people who have a booktube channel but also who do not have booktube channel. If you are a subscriber and you would like to read a book with me, I'm all more than happy to do it over Instagram, and then we have chat or the Voxer, or we can figure it out. So anyway, this kind of video will be coming soon. And I think those are all the questions from this stack, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know any thoughts towards this video, towards these questions, if you are maybe waiting for some new release still, or if there is a book you think that might surprise you to become your favorite of this year. And without further ado, I'll just say bye, take care, and I will see you with another video very soon. Bye bye!